Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video we're just going to have a look at at World Arena. So as you can see, World Arena is on. There are a couple of things that I wanted to go through while World Arena is on. First things first, make sure that you are buying these. So as you can see, you can purchase attempts for diamonds. The way that I will typically run World Arena is I won't use any of these challenges, or I won't use many of these challenges, and the reason for that is because I want to build up. So I want to build these challenge attempts up to that 35, and once I've got those 35 attempts in, challenges here, 35 out of 35, that is when I will go ahead and challenge. Now the reason for that is because you get 10 attempts a day, so that is 10 attempts with diamonds. You can also use these astral invites in order to top this up, but you need to save these for the very end of the season. So what I mean by that is this this current World Arena will finish, hold on, weird. I think I just need I need a haircut and a beard trim, most definitely. But this World Arena will finish in 11 days, 23 hours, which means that in around 11 days, 23 hours, or 12 days, the World Arena will conclude. But in those final 10 minutes, what happens is everybody goes nuts. So I went from ranking first, or not first, I was top 10. So I was, you know, between 6 and 8, and then I didn't do it last time, so I didn't use up all of the challenges that I'd built up. I didn't use any of the leftover attempts that I had here, and the reason for that is because I was out with family, I was out with friends, so I couldn't make a video about it. And you know, I was just having a good time, enjoying life. This game isn't the be all end all. If you miss one of these, it doesn't matter altogether too much. You just finish outside and you don't get your avatar frame. So, you know, it is what it is. But what I mean by this is I would definitely suggest keeping hold of these until the last 10 minutes, because your place can go from top 10 to outside of the top 100 just by not doing anything in those final 10 minutes or so. So keep saving those challenges up and then use them. When you get up to 35, use 10. Then the next day you'll get 5 more attempts for free, and you will also be able to pick up 5 more diamond attempts as well. Keep doing that for the next 11 days and then you'll rank up very quickly, I am very sure. So my thinking behind this, we're going to have a look at my defensive lineup. These are the teams that I'm currently running, and then we'll go over the hope tree very quickly. So first things first, what does this button do? Ooh, the team is visible to the opponent. Okay, that's fine. So these are the teams that I've gone with. So as you can see, I do have Proof of Mystifiers, and I have the Ecliptus Synergy on this team, which will give us, if we have negative Moonglow, which we don't actually have on this team. In fact, the Dooms do. The Dooms bring the negative Moonglow, but I think that should be outweighed by the positive increase from the Mystifiers. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to do as much damage, indirect damage, as possible. And the reason that we will do indirect damage is because of Lancelot, Gaia, and because of Merlin as well. So those three, Gaia, Merlin, and Lancelot, will be your main damage dealers in this team. Astrid is here to one-shot opponents, and Halissa is here to bring the team and get them through that first couple of rounds with the Monarch buff, and also with the buffs that she provides as well. So as you can see, we've got 3 Monarchs, Astrid, Merlin, Halissa. You have 2 Light Seekers in the form of Merlin, Halissa, would be Lancelot, but I don't have him fully kitted out just yet. We have 2 Royals in the form of Gaia and Astrid, 2 Protectors in the form of Lancelot and Gaia. We have 2 Deviants in the form of Gaia and Astrid as well. We do have 1 Shadow Arc, 1 Verdian, and 1 Dawnbringer, but that is irrespective. That's not what we're looking to achieve here. So relics, I've gone for Underworld Key, because it is 100 relic energy for Mystifiers and for Valianters. It is Plague Bow is next, so Plague Bow will provide holy shields, and then we have the Cauldron as well. So the Cauldron, what that does is it increases, or it stops us from taking damage. Now that is very, very important, especially when you're running Gaia. So your team will attack first, your relics will pop off here, and then within round 1, this will activate, and we will see no damage taken for the round that it activates in, and then it will reactivate the next time 5 rounds later. And one last thing to note, I am using the stun artifact. Now the reason that I'm using the stun artifact on this team is so that within that first round we can do as much damage and take out as many of the enemy team as possible. Next team we have fully kitted out. Now this is an actual Ecliptus build. We have 5 royals. We have Eudora, Arthur, Elisha, Wukong and Ophelia. We have 3 Ecliptus on the team for that additional defense and HP, because both my Dooms team and my Ethereal's team power off the negative Moonglow. And we do have 3 Deviants, Elisha, Wukong and Ophelia. We have 3 Doomsdayers, technically, with Arthur and Ophelia. And we have 3 Ethereals in Eudora, Elisha and Wukong. As you can see, we've got 2 stars under each because of the relics that we are running. Now we do have 2 enchanters in the form of Ophelia and Eudora, and we have 2 celestials for when one of our units dies, it will stop any corrode damage, which is the main weakness of this team. That first hit of corrode is very, very strong, and subsequent corrode we want off us as quickly as possible. The easiest way to do that is when one of your units goes down, all of the debuffs will be removed and all of the enemy's buffs will be removed as well. So this is the team. The whole point of the team is for Wukong to switch with Arthur once on the first or the initial round, and once that's happened, the God will switch and it'll change everybody's places, and then Wukong will hopefully start to switch with the rest of the team, maybe go on that back row, start to switch with the back row, and then Arthur will build up over the course of the match. Eudora and Elisha here to apply the freeze mechanic, so these 2 work very well together. Elisha has that freeze mechanic, gives it out to the rest of the team, and then Eudora will then proceed to freeze everybody on the enemy team so that you can build up and you can survive that first couple of rounds, so that Arthur can then take the victory at the end. With regards to relics, again, I've got the new relic. I've got the trident, or the what's it called? Hold on, something. Ocean's Maw, there you go. The Ocean's Maw. I have the Gourd, which actually at 3 stars does something very interesting. After casting the relic, positions of all surviving allies in the team will be immediately randomized 1 time. However, after casting relic for 2 rounds, all buffs received by our allies are doubled, which means that Arthur's buffs are doubled. It means that Elisha's buffs are doubled. It means that Ophelia's buffs are doubled. It means that when Wukong switches, he doubles the buffs as well, and then Eudora to apply all of those buffs, help Elisha, help Arthur, and help Ophelia get those buffs on. So yeah, doubling the number of buffs, very, very strong in this team. Right, next up we have a Mystifier's Glorians team. Now the reason that I've gone Mystifier's Glorians, I've got 2 Glorians, two Mystifiers here in the form of Catherine and Mulan, both strikers, and then we have Chang as well. So Chang is our 3rd back row striker. We also have Seraphina, and Seraphina is also a striker, so works and plays very well into this. And we have Wu Zetian here for the additional damage reduction. So when you deploy Wu Zetian, if you have her exclusive runes, as you can see, I've got her exclusive runes down there. We do have, she will apply that 75% damage reduction to the entire team, which is something that strikers desperately need, is a way to stop dying on turn 1. As soon as they stop dying on turn 1, they start to kill very quickly because of the attack build up that you get from this striker's build. Now, Mulan will allow this back row here to apply burn to enemy units. You have Chang here who will double ult. She only hits the first row, But when the first row goes down, then she hits the back row. And typically that will be by round 2. At the moment, maybe later on, it'll change up and there'll be longer matches. We might need to change teams up a little bit. You do have Catherine, who when receives healing, she dishes out even more attack to the entire team, as well as pumping herself up. You have Seraphina for that healing to trigger Grace of Hunters on the Glorians team. And you also have the healing to pair with Catherine as well. Very, very strong. And then, again, Wuzatam, she is an enchanter, but what you are looking for really is that damage reduction and potentially the steal if she survives for long enough. So that's the team build. We do have the 4 Glorians technically in Wuzatan, Seraphina and Chang. So we have 4 Glorians, well, technically, but I have proof of Glorians. There are 3 here, but we count it as 4. We do have 3 Ecliptus on the team, so when we have negative Moonglow energy, we will get defensive buffs, and then 3 Mystifiers, or technically 2, because I've got proof of Mystifiers in Mulan and Catherine as well. So that is the team setup. We've got the 5 Celestials here, no Deviant Synergy, and these are the relics. So I've got 3-star banner here for protection. We do have the shield for front row protection as well, and we do have Hand of Tyr in order to provide even more shielding. We have gone for our artifact. I've gone with the Glorians artifact, so the 300% increase. And then for this team as well, I've gone for the Ethereals, so the Ethereal power up, just to give Eudora, Elisha and Wukong more damage. Where have you gone? There you are. Right, so team 4, it looks a little bit weird, but the thinking behind this is actually the reverse of this. So the way that Hey Kate works is she dies very quickly in all circumstances. Doesn't matter who you're against, Hey Kate will probably be the first one to go down. Now, the reason that I've got the 4 Monarchs on the team is to stop that from happening, and also to give a little bit of additional damage increase. And when she's got below 50% health, she gets an additional 50% attack. It is all based on Hey Kate doing as much damage as possible, but in order to allow that to happen, we've got our 4 Royals in Talos, Aphrodite, Hades, Dullahan. We do have Mavis on the team as well, and I'll go through that in just a sec. But you've got your 3 Luminas to increase the damage of our entire team as well if we have a positive Moonglow, which we should do because we've got 2 Mystifiers and we've got 3 Avengers as well, which I have gone positive side, so Elysian Synergy. That is why Hey Kate is here. You can switch these 2 around. If you don't have a strong Hey Kate, you just replace her with Janna or somebody else like that. But you pop Aphrodite in the middle because she's the one doing all of the ultimates. So again, we've got 3 Avengers, 3 Mystifiers. So again, proof of Mystifiers allows us to have these 2 on the team, but get the full 3. We have 2 Deviants in the form of Dullahan and Hey Kate. We have 2 Celestials in Talos and Aphrodite. And then we have 1 Light Seeker in the form of Mavis. But Mavis is here primarily to die as quickly as possible. So Mavis will die. She'll come back to life. She'll die again. She'll come back to life and keep attacking the enemy over the course of the battle. You should be doing absolutely massive damage by the end of it with Mavis. Aphrodite to steal enemy units. Everybody knows how good Aphrodite is, and if you don't, you need to pick up a copy of her. We've got Talos and Dullahan, just very stable units, very capable units, and very strong as well. Usually the last 2 to survive. On teams like this, so Aphrodite may go down, Hey Kate may go down, Mavis will go down, but Dullahan and Talos should survive through to the very end and hopefully pull a victory out of nowhere. Now, with regards to relics, we've gone for Chest to slow the enemies down. Chest will remove any relic energy that the enemies have when it's cast. You will also have the Sphere. The Sphere does apply healing, but it also removes debuffs and can also increase. I believe it removes debuffs, bear with me. No, it's so... Okay, so it doesn't. So what it does is it just increases max HP, which actually is very good for a Monarch team. And then we have the new relic as well, the Umbra Torch. This it just increases HP further. So just something to keep in mind. This team is all about getting HP as high as possible, and then not taking a lot of damage. Is the hope Kate survives for long enough so that she can build up her damage and attack through. Now I have gone for Mystifier's damage on this one. Probably should have Mystifier's on a different one on this one, potentially. Having Mystifier damage on this, but again, the stun really does help. Mystifier damage here probably, in fact, should be Avengers. So let me unequip this. No, that's why I did, because as you can see, the attack of the Avengers is increased by 300%. That's fine. Attack of all allies is increased by 20%. It's okay. But attack of Mystifier is increased by 300, and attack of all allies is increased by 50. So it's just the higher stats that I've gone for with that. And then finally, we do have my last team. This is a team that I've shown off on the channel before. This team is 5 Royals. You've got Ecliptus synergy within the team here. You do have 3 Deviants in the form of Ayushta, Hades, and Pandora. You have 3 Doomsdayers in the form of Dahlia and Ayushta. You have 3 Valianters in the form of Hades, Elma, and Pandora. 2 Celestials, and then the whole point of this team is the Phantom synergy. So effectively, the strategy is with this team, Elma to switch with Dahlia. Elma starts to build up his attack. Elma switches again with Dahlia, builds up his attack even more. By the end of the fight, it should just be Elma and Hades left. Hades will steal an enemy unit. Dahlia will do not very much damage on this one. The reason that Dahlia is here is primarily to copy the buffs and power up Elma as much as possible. Pandora here to apply the the double ultimate, or triple or quadruple, depends on how many enemies you kill. But Elma typically, after he's swapped with Dahlia a couple of times, will proc his ultimate a lot. And because it hits all enemies, it's doing absolutely massive damage, and you have more of a chance to execute the enemies as well. Hades here, primarily for the 35% execute limit. So Hades increases the execute limit for all Valianters, and also gives 35% damage reduction for all Valiant as well, helping Elma, Pandora, and himself survive for long enough. He also steals as well. So I've got him at epic runes at the moment, so he only gets the 100% rather than the turn reduction. And then finally, Ayushta here is primarily a just to die. She does occasionally kiss the enemies to death, but the whole point of Ayushta here is just to die, to bring back and to activate the Phantom synergy as well. So relics, we've gone for the Knight's Edge, not Knight's Edge, Death Scythe. We've gone for the Mirror in order to revive our allies even more, and then we do finally have Knight's Edge as well for the additional attack. We have gone for the Valianters here. As you can see, I could go for Dooms, but again, Valianters, you want Elma doing as much damage as possible. He is the key to this entire team build, to be honest. Really is. He's really strong, especially when he keeps coming back and coming back and coming back, and as do your other allies as well. The only problem I have ever had with Elma is that he does no damage whatsoever, but that is where Dahlia comes in. When she swaps with him, she will give him 30% attack per buff that he has, which is actually quite easy to build up these buffs with this particular team. So those are my 5 teams in general. Let's go ahead and have a look at my hope tree. Now, I was able to squeeze out a couple. I was able to squeeze out a third proof after I had built up everything. So let me just show you what I have done. The way that I build this is I will give 5 into this and 5 into this. So I'll give 5 into these 2, or these 2, depending on which side you're on. But these 2, then I go for these 2 right here, so Grace of Divine, Energy on Heal, but you can also go for this side as well if you really want to. But I get these 10 nodes in first, and then same is true for the rest of them. So I've got each of the synergies up to 5 out of 5 for these, for all of my factions. As you can see, not put any points in the seasonal synergy whatsoever. Just, I think these factions are good enough, and I think that you can bolster how strong these factions are with just the stuff that you see here. You can go ahead if you really wanted to, and you could probably pop in, where have you gone, like Valianters. You could pop in you know, Dooms on this side if you have enough of these Azure beads, but I do not. The next thing I've gone for are the proofs. So once I've got each of these first 2 nodes 5 out of 5, I go for proof. So I go for proof of Dooms, I've gone for proof of Ethereals, and I've gone for proof of Mystifiers as well. And then finally, with the leftovers, I went for 5 out of 5 on the Bone Corruption, and I went 5 out of 5 on Doom's Reprisal. I didn't add anything else in to these particular builds here, or to the other synergies. As you can see, I've got 1 out of 1 here, 0 out of 5 here, and then 1 out of 5 here, just so they have a chance to do it. But I effectively ran out once I'd give that third proof. I could take away the Mystifier's proof, and I'd be able to build up Glorians, build up Ethereals a bit more, build up Glorians, build up Valianters, and then build up Avengers. But I'm not going to do that. I do enjoy the Mystifier's proof. It gets you a lot more damage in. A lot more damage in. But that's it for the Hope Tree. So yeah. Let's just go ahead and see whether or not I did win this last match. It looks like I did, so as you can see, I have not lost a match with this team. However, I am only in going up to Diamond 2. But what's quite good about these teams is I've been able to go all the way through, and I've only challenged 3 times. So I've only challenged 3 times in total, which has got me up to Diamond 2. So I'm all the way through bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and I'm up to halfway through diamond. And again, I've only used 3 challenges because I've been able to win all of those matches, and reasonably significantly. It might be to do with the level. And there's one thing that I didn't show you. Let me just off this, hold on, jump into Hope Tree. This is how I've gone with the Hope Tree. So I had a couple of resets. I did my World Arena Enhance. So I've got this up to level 5, so we do get the additional 160% damage, and then I've just gone all around the outside with the rest of them, because for me it's redundant having additional dragon attempts, redundant getting the enhance for reinforcements and Clash Domain, and then Foggy Coliseum. I switched between the two, so when Foggy was on, I would pump all of my points into Foggy. Now that World Arena is on, I've put all of my points into World Arena Enhance as well. So that is my team build for sort of Challenger and below. Once you get up to, let's go ahead and see. Yeah, so people are up to Challenger 4 at the moment. Once you get up to Challenger, that is when you need to start using 7 teams. So I will have a separate video out for that. So if you're not already, please do subscribe. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day. Good luck in your World Arena attempts, and let me know how it's going for you.